I found all the beaded bags that I was hunting for and some.
$3,000 back to school haul. This is part 2 of my $1,000 shopping haul.
Okay, so today I have an overconsumption video for you. New trends, new hauls, new products that you absolutely have to buy until it becomes irrelevant in a few weeks when a new item comes out. Just a way to constantly drain your bank account and line these companies' pockets with money. Hopefully this will help de-influence you and save you some cash because we have a lot of examples to go over today, along with comments from you guys from previous videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below. But let's start off with a new one, at least to me, the beaded bags.
I found all the beaded bags that I was hunting for and some, so I want to show you guys my whole collection now. First and foremost, a bestie actually shipped this one to me. I still to this day have not seen this bag, but it's just a martini beaded bag and I just am obsessed with this and I love the little stars. I feel like this is a perfect nighttime one.
Okay, so we're not going to sit through the whole thing. I'll just have it up on screen as she runs through a bunch of these bags. But in the same way, we've seen people hoard perfume and cologne products, a lot of the beauty products as well, any of the lotions, the shampoos, random soaps, basically you name it. We have somebody who, just has an unreasonable amount of bags and purses. Now, it just seems like another one of the trends, this one particularly, is at TJ Maxx, where I want to say just a couple months ago, people were obsessed with the Trader Joe bags, reselling them online for a ton of money, and now nobody cares. This seems to be in a similar boat, and a lot of people aren't having it. Some of the comments, holy consumerism. This is the greed they talk about in the Bible. How do you highly recommend something that still has a price tag on it? That's a very good point. She has a whole bunch of them in her collection, but some of them still have price tags on it, so either it has never been used for the purpose it was made for, or another one of the possibilities, she makes a haul video on TikTok. It gets a whole bunch of views and attention, and she takes that bag and walks right back into TJ Maxx and returns it. So she still got the content that she wanted, and in the end, you didn't have to pay a dime for it. Why? They're not even cute. These will be flooding the thrift stores in 6 to 12 months, and then she'll just hop on to the new trend, the new product, and do the same thing over and over again. Shopping, hauls, beauty in Chicago, and just by the thumbnails of the TikTok, you clearly see what you're going to get, just like every one of these overconsumption pages. Now we'll switch over to one that's a little bit more in season, the back to school hauls, the college dorm hauls as well, just getting completely out of control because apparently to go back to school you need to spend $3,000 just to start.
$3,000 back to school haul. No! My God. When I tell you that was a whole workout, I'm full on sweating. Let's just get into it because I have so much.
So again, I'm not going to be sitting through this, watching it all, but this is an entire 2-part video because that's how much stuff she had of, an unbelievable amount of clothes just to go back to school. What happened to everything that you wore last year or even during the summer? I guess it's just completely thrown out. It's not in fashion anymore, just goes right into the landfills, which is exactly what's going to happen with the items she's currently showing when she decides to make yet another clothing haul. But I guess even $3,000 isn't enough. I found a clip up on screen that was a back to school haul that cost $35,000. That's why everything just needs to be anteed up. When we're talking about influencers in today's day and age, it needs to be the craziest and most expensive. To the point where they're just lying to you. We'll see that a little bit later in the video, but this one's just a whole bunch of ridiculous jewelry, electronics. Clearly, you don't actually need it for a back to school haul, but it's something to put in the title and the hashtags and you'll get more views and more attention. Same when we're talking about the dorm room hauls and the amount of stuff people are buying just to move into their dorms. This example isn't even the person going to college. This is a mom making an entire series on her TikTok.
Welcome to my dorm haul, except it's everything that I bought my daughter that she doesn't care about. Starting with a monogram tool set.
So not surprising, it just gets into insane consumption and shopping and just going above and beyond things that you would actually need at a college dorm. And I'm just showing a single video up on screen right now. Like I said, she has an entire series of this on her page, just spending ludicrous amounts of money because it works with the algorithm. People engage, even though a good amount of the comments saying this is out of my tax bracket, it's a crazy amount of spending. But whether you like it or not, seeing this day in and day out will make you want to be like them because everybody wants wants to keep up with the Joneses. I mean, there are so many different examples out there. How much have you spent on dorm stuff? And it's just a mountain of items. I mean, I don't even know how you would fit all of that in a normal dorm room, especially if you have a roommate. They're not really that spacious, but in the end, it doesn't matter. It makes for a good thumbnail and a good caption. So that's all anybody really cares about, the attention and validation you'll get online. So let alone the fact that college tuition is now unbelievably expensive for so many people, easily racking up 5 or 6 figures worth of student debt, while simultaneously having a terrible job market when you do graduate. So it'd be more difficult to land a job to be able to pay off those insane student loans. But now walking into the dorm room, you have to have maxed out credit cards because you bought everything that you could possibly think of. It really is just getting to be way too much. And we have a couple comments from you guys because I asked, are there any overconsumption trends that I missed in this video? Kind of shocked you haven't covered Pokemon. It's not as bad as Labubu's, but close. You could kind of lump that into the next comment, Warhammer figures. I know a lot of people are into Legos and Star Wars, spending insane amounts of money. And I do want to say before we get into the rest of the video that I do think it's okay if you really enjoy a specific niche. You collect something that you really like as long as you can afford it and it's not really hurting you financially. It just seems to me like a lot of what people are collecting right now, the products are just trends and it's not something that they actually like. It's just because other people have it and within a few months or a few weeks, nobody cares about it anymore. You need to get this new thing. But the previous products still cost you money, and that's how you constantly drain your bank account without really knowing, while also purchasing things you don't really want or need. Some comments, doomsday preppers. Why do I have a 50-pound bag of salt? Why do I have 500 pounds of beans and rice? Why do I have $80,000 worth of supplies that just sit in totes? Books. Some people can't stop buying books, and I don't even read them. I'm a gun guy. I know for a fact that there are a lot of gun guys out there buying $1,500 guns, items for pets like custom pajamas, various jackets, Yeti bowls, custom dog houses, leashes, footwear, grooming, etc. My vaping brothers collect different colors and designs of reusable vapes. Another person saying books or personal libraries. Crafters. I don't think I know anyone who sews, crochets, beads, paper crafts, etc. that don't buy. People have more supplies than they will ever use. So there is a lot of different topics we could go over, but one of them that I'm starting to see now that just irks me, because in my mind, we're still in summer, right? It's August. But ever since July, I've started to see TikToks and things in store relating to Halloween. A clip up on screen. I'm not as expensive as I want to be, and I wish my husband would appreciate that more, with one of those giant skeletons. If you've ever seen these in Lowe's or Home Depot, they are incredibly expensive. I mean, this one's just sitting on their table, and this clip was uploaded in August.
Yeah, girl, I know it's the middle of July, but fall decorating starts now. If you were looking for this little light last year, y'all know how fast they sold out. So trust me, I had to start my shopping early.
So of course, this is another TikTok seller trying to hop on the trend as early as possible. It's that time of year with the link in the description, Ghosty Campfire. Price drops 67% off. They're almost always on sale as well, and you know that this is just the worst of the worst Temu level quality. Another one uploaded July 16th, crashing out because I spent 6 hours going to 12 stores on my day off looking for the freaking ghost mirror. Something about seeing Halloween decorations in July made me realize how bad our consumerism is. So true, but if you're not first, you're last. These are also the same people who would be complaining that they're living paycheck to paycheck in this cost of living crisis, which overall they're not wrong, but spending money on frivolous stuff like this that you don't really need months and months before the holiday is even around is probably not the best idea. And I have a couple pictures that I took, just a bunch of the Reese's peanut butter cups, all Halloween themed. I took this back in July. Same thing when I was walking through the mall. This is from Bath and Body Works, just a ton of Halloween stuff. Frankenstein's Bakery, and I bet if I went to the same store near the end of September when Halloween would be getting started, right, there'd be a completely different display with a whole bunch of different products that you absolutely have to buy now, and an extra little addition that I saw in the same store, a small sign saying only accepting credit cards or mobile payments. They don't do cash anymore. This has been rolling out to more and more stores, and I think that this is just an easy way to be able to spend more money. If you're swiping your card all day or using Apple Pay, you don't actually see the dollars going out. It's a lot easier to tap and pay $100 than give them a $100 bill. Seeing the actual cash being spent hurts a lot more, but we're starting to not even have the option to now. Just keep on swiping and tapping. Buy. It's okay. You don't pay attention to your bank account or credit card limit, and out of nowhere, you're out of money and maxed out.
Is anyone else's, when you get stressed about money, is your favorite way to deal with that stress about money to spend money? I don't know what my problem is. I bet if I talk to a therapist, my therapist would say, oh, you're doing that so you can feel in control, because stressing about money, you feel out of control, so you do that to feel in control. And I'm like, yeah, got it. But why? And then they would probably say, well, you're probably doing some level of self-sabotage, which I would say hurtful and then true. Anyway, you guys want to go spend some money with me?
I don't think it's on the same level, but it's pretty close to talking about gambling online, where almost everything isn't taken seriously. It's a joke, because clearly this person knows that they have a spending problem, but at the end is, oh, you want to go spend even more money? It's very similar to the gambling clips. Oh, you're only one away from the jackpot. Keep going. It just really annoys me at the end of the day, because the comments don't get better. I just girl math it away. Yeah, I heard it was an ADHD thing. Catch me at the Goodwill with $12 to my name.
I am in thousands of dollars of credit card debt and I want to spend money so bad. The urge to spend money, like, I feel like it's just something that's in me. Like, I love spending money. I love buying things. I love new things. And that is the biggest struggle, because all I want is to go and have a shopping spree and I want to buy a bunch of new clothes, but I'm not. I'm having self-restraint and I'm staying strong and I'm not going to buy anything, even though I really, really want to, because we have financial goals and we have credit card debt that we have to pay off and I'm not adding to it. And I'm just trying to be debt free.
And that's something we don't normally hear when it comes to credit card debt or over-consuming. It just gets added on to that giant number. So you could have that good feeling of getting something new, and once that wears off, you'll go on another shopping spree and another one over and over again. I mean, it gets to a point where it almost looks like that's the only thing people think about 24/7. A clip up on screen right now. Wow, this is so beautiful. You know, a nice beach day. I wonder what's at the TJ Maxx. And to make things worse, the comment section, TJ Maxx, thinking about you, heart, I love you. Trying to make it seem like these giant corporations are normal everyday users, as if their entire goal isn't to try to get you to spend as much money as humanly possible at their store just so they could constantly increase their profits. The TJ Maxx here must be so good. I'm not even kidding. I had this exact thought at the beach day today. I told my husband I'm like 98% enjoying this, but I'm stressed I'm missing the Halloween stuff at Home Goods. This sounds to me like you have a problem. I left 2 spooky ghosts behind and I can't stop thinking about them. That's the worst. There needs to be a term for this, like some sort of consumerism brain rot. It's just absolutely out of control. And we have a comment from one of you guys: having to clean estate sales of past old people. All of this stuff goes in the trash one day. It's very sad. Well, I would say that there's even some accounts that put this into the landfill right after they buy it.
This is part 2 of my $1,000 shopping haul. When I saw this inside of Ross, I literally hit the jackpot. They are these pink blingy brushes, and look at the brush holder. It's a skull head.
So this is somebody we've talked about before that advertises herself as a shopaholic, a shopping addict, where she'll buy a whole bunch of stuff like this, a $1,000 haul, and then completely switch her channel saying that I'm over consuming too much. I'm going to declutter. I'm going to change my ways. She'll get a whole bunch of other people with the same problem to follow, and then go right back into the consumerism shopping hauls. It's just a cycle that happens over and over again, and people already know it's going to happen in the comments. Can't wait to see all this stuff in your next decluttering video. Renting a storage unit just for Squishmallows is crazy work. I think you need to go on the financial audit. Is this a repost? Probably. They all end up looking the same. Did I still watch the entire thing? Yes. This is the kind of stuff that fuels just the inflated lifestyle for everybody, because people start thinking that this is the norm.
Unpopular opinion, our lifestyles and spending has gotten completely out of control. And I'm not trying to call anyone out. I'm guilty as hell. I love a sweet treat. I can mess up a Target. I can spend money in such an obscene way. But this is something that's been on my mind a lot lately, because I know that's not normal. That's not reality. And I remember back 1,000 years ago, pre-internet days, I remember what luxury looked like. I remember what want versus need, luxury versus necessity looked like. And in the pre-internet era of life, it was so different. Nowadays, there's so much pressure, and granted, no one's holding a gun to anybody's head, you don't have to, but let's face it, this is the norm these days, where If you were going to buy a car, you were going to probably buy a used one. Like default, you were going to look for a used one, decent, nothing special. Nowadays, the default setting has changed into you're going to buy a brand new car or lease one, and it's going to have all the bells and whistles, the latest kind, even ordering a custom designed one. And I'm not talking about for the super wealthy, I'm talking about for just regular people.
Because that has really become the norm now in every facet of life. The newest cars, the newest bags, the newest clothing, basically everything that you would originally think super wealthy or rich people would do. Now everyday middle-class citizens have to do the same and then post it online for others. And because that's what we see so consistently online, then it has to slowly get more expensive to the point where it's just a straight up lie. Here's a ridiculous one, $6,000 weekly kids fridge refill, fridge restock as a triplet mom. Yeah, you're spending $24,000 a month on 3 kids, and I don't think I really have to tell you how absolutely ridiculous this is, even though it is one of those ASMR restock videos with a million jump cuts. These are supposed to be aesthetically pleasing videos. I guess some people like it, but it's just another way to show off overconsumption online and let it hit the algorithm. The consumerism is crazy. Where's all the actual food, not just snacks? Where's the chicken, fish, steak, or whatever protein? Then this type of issue starts snowballing, getting to the point where people are stealing even from their family members, committing fraud.
$1,200 spent on Lululemon, and now you're trying to merge me in with 911 saying that you want to press charges. Fraud is fraud. Whoever did, I need for you to lock them up and press charges. I want all my money back. He says he's trying to pay off his golf dues and the transaction's not being authorized because it looks like there's over $3,000 that was taken out of his account. He says, no, I don't know anything about no Lululemon. I need to go ahead and have them arrested. I need my money back. The cops are on the line. See, are they able to assist me? Can you give my money back right now? My Apple Pay not accepting the transaction. If you're gonna let him know, unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to do anything today. You can release the cops off the line and we will do our due diligence to see what's going on. Reach out to Lululemon and they're letting us know that these transactions are valid. Lululemon says these are all valid transactions. They were made in store. Provide us with the name of the person that made them as well as the account that's associated to for Lululemon. Come and find out when I let dad know it's his daughter. Daughter had a card in her Apple wallet and she was going ahead to make transactions. It sounds like you need to reach out to your daughter, not the cops and not to us, to figure out why she has your card in her Apple Pay, because if you didn't authorize it, somebody did. Do you want your daughter arrested or not? Goodbye.
$3,200 spent at Lululemon. We can look at some of the comments. Dad authorized a card for school supplies, and the daughter said, bet, Lululemon is school supplies. I mean, goes pretty well with the beginning of this video, the back to school hauls or the dorm hauls, just getting an excessive amount of items because we're going back to school. Consumerism and staying on fashion trends have gotten so bad that it was okay to spend thousands of dollars on a card that wasn't yours and expecting that there were no consequences. On top of it, for a brand that we all know costs virtually nothing to make in China, they just stick the Lululemon logo on it and then magically the leggings are $100 each. And this kind of stuff doesn't get better because some people really think like this tweet in the next example. I don't want to fix my spending habits, I want to afford them.
This tweet perfectly captures why so many people are psychologically stuck with their money, and I'm going to break down why. So this mindset is actually incredibly common. You know, rather than adapting our lifestyle to match our resources, we often dream of resources expanding to match our lifestyle. And it's a kind of backwards way of thinking that does feel logical in the moment. And the reason why it feels logical is we are hardwired to normalize our current spending habits, no matter how unsustainable they are. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. You know, whatever lifestyle we're currently living kind of becomes the baseline, and then cutting back feels like a painful loss rather than something we actually need to do. There's also status anxiety at play. You know, we want our spending to reflect our social value. So a lot of times we'll spend to kind of keep up with people. And I think social media has exacerbated this feeling like we need to keep spending money to make sure we're perceived in a certain way. And, you know, when we see that we need to kind of cut back on our spending, that can even trigger like a primal fear that we need to cut back, you know, we're going to lose our social standing. So that can be scary to some people.
But you having that kind of mindset that I just want to afford my type of spending habits, my lifestyle, will most likely never actually get you to where you want to be. Another comment from one of you guys, the thing is with fads that they used to last years, i.e. Beanie Babies, now they only last a few weeks or even days with social media causing the spending to go nuts. We've gone over tons of examples like that. We have one up on screen right now of Labubus, one that I could almost guarantee in a few months nobody will care about, but there's still insane content of it online. Somebody freaking out trying to get a rare version of it. We even have new versions of the cups everybody should be walking around with now.
I'm happy I made this. I avoided buying a Weck jar for as long as I possibly could. Like, it's just a jar. I have my coffee cups, mason jars, pasta jars. Why would I need a Weck jar? The answer is, I don't know. One of those videos just really did me in. I had to get it.
You absolutely had to get it. And this is just the new version of the mason jars. Basically no reason to actually purchase. I mean, the creator didn't even have a reason. But you go right over to the comments, single-handedly just inspired me to go buy a Weck jar. I need a Weck jar so bad. I love my jar. And in the same way, everybody needed a Stanley cup. And before that, a hydro flask. Now we got another one.
This is your sign to go ahead and finally get an Owala. The Owala official store is right here on TikTok, so check the link down below. I'm so excited. My TikTok shop sample arrived, and it is this gorgeous Owala. I cannot believe she's finally here.
I've talked about this a couple times, but I hate when people refer to an inanimate object as a he or she like it's a living, breathing thing, especially a water bottle. I don't even like when people do with cars. I get you could take care and love your car or whatever item you're trying to bring to life, saying it's a he or she, but at the end of the day, like this, it's just another cup that's going to go in and out of style. But thank God you could buy this on the TikTok shop, so you're going to see a ton of creators shilling this so they could get some of the commissions until the next bottle comes out. I need their Black Widow Owala back. So many of us have literally been begging for a water bottle because this is exactly what's going to happen in just a couple months.
Recession indicator, real Stanleys at Marshall's for 15 bucks, 19, 20 bucks.
That's not recession, it's just a dead trend. Recession is real, but the Stanley trend was never going to last. A water bottle should have never been a trend. Labubu in 3 months. I mean, you could basically see into the future with what all of this is going to become.
I saw a video on here once that said everything in your house was once money, and I've been pissed about it ever since.
And with how simple and straightforward as that sounds, people don't really realize it. There's a lot of clips like that online, realizing that this all used to be money, just garbage bags full of crap that people don't use anymore. It makes me so mad at myself. All that used to be money, and all that money used to be time. It's legitimately hours of your life gone away for those products. And I know that there are many people like this realizing I actually have an overconsumption problem, and they're trying to fix it and stop it before it actually happens. I think a really good term that I saw in this clip, Landfillcore at Hobby Lobby. A lot of these little trinkets that people would buy, think it's cute, and then would eventually turn into the garbage bags like we just saw with those clips of items that people just don't use anymore. Landfillcore is a term that needs to be more used because it's accurate. Everything at Hobby Lobby is landfillcore. I finally have a word for it, thank you. And I mean, this next clip is a perfect example.
This is the world's lamest toy. They're called screen breaks, and they're based off of Cobby Lame, who went viral for doing this with his hands. And why are they the lamest toy? Well, every time I've gone to the store for the past 4 months, these things are untouched. No one wants them until today. Are you ready for the most life-changing toy ever? I know all of your jaws are dropped right now. You are so jealous that I own this and you don't. Also, it says you need to be 5 and up, but this thing has potential to be a weapon. Cobby Lame's toy is lame.
Literally made to fill up landfills. Another one up on screen, buying it won't fill the void in your life. Just looking at all the stuff that was donated to thrift stores. Tons of random items that I bet were at TJ Maxx and Home Goods, Hobby Lobby at one point. And then when you're finally tired of it covering your house, you end up donating it because the quality isn't even there in the first place.
All the furniture at Home Goods right now is made of plastic resin. It's just fake wood. All of this is plastic. You can tell when you touch it. My mom said, why do you want to go to all these old antique malls? So she took me to Home Goods to look at new stuff. Everything there was resin, no natural material. And she was like, oh, I get it.
It actually makes me sad how this world has turned to mass producing garbage and then slapping a huge price tag on it. And every single piece of furniture is wobbly in there. Antique stores will cease to exist at some point. Just Goodwills filled with overpriced, landfill-bound junk. Now, an argument that I've seen online, I guess, for overconsumption is to just mind your business, let people do what they want with their money, even though they are posting it online for the entire world to see. And I mean, at that point, if it's public, you know people are going to comment on it, but we'll finish off with this clip.
If someone tells you to mind your business about overconsumption and consumerism, your feelings are valid there, and this is why it is your business and everyone else's business too. It doesn't just affect the person that's over-consuming, it affects all of us. Overconsumption fuels fast fashion, climate change, and landfill overflow. Micro trends mean the clothes are literally made to fall apart and get thrown away when the trend is over. And while these few billionaires are profiting, the rest of us are left with rising prices and our planet burning. So no, it's not let them do whatever they want because it's their money. And all I'm asking for and trying to bring awareness to is for people to just be a little more mindful. You don't have to change overnight. You don't have to become a minimalist overnight. Am I saying it's going to solve all of the world's problems? Absolutely not. But it's a step in the right direction and it will help.
It annoys me so bad when someone comments on others' overconsumption and people reply, it's not that deep, it's her money, just scroll. This is why we are where we are right now, especially when we're talking about the lack of quality with almost every product you could think of. People keep buying it, keep consuming, so why wouldn't these manufacturers keep making more? And one day, like we saw earlier, there won't be antique malls anymore because all of that furniture would have finally given out, and all we'll have to purchase is the home goods or Hobby Lobby fake wood items that won't last nearly as long. We could talk about modern day cars, we could talk about new construction homes, appliances as well, washers and dryers, dishwashers. All of this stuff is just getting worse because we still keep buying it. So that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and I'll talk to you guys later.